Huh? Oh, I'm awake. I am. Sorry. Hey, folks, let's talk about BTS. Let's talk about the live streams. Let's talk about JK. Let's talk about Jimin, J Hope, Jin, and the whole gang. If you saw that live, you know. Let's go. Hi. You know, I'm Dee Sparta. Welcome to my channel. I love BTS. I do. I'm 50 years old. Yeah. I need to dye my hair again. It's all. So I want to get more blue, or should I go purple? I don't know. I like blue though. I think maybe I'll do that after I record videos. Dye my hair. Anyway, I am. This is the energy from. I just filmed the dark side of K-pop. Then I kind of cleansed myself and did a reading for my patrons about Bang PD and what's going on with him and BTS kind of stuff over on my Patreon. And it's like I'm just like, yeah, I gotta do a fun video. I gotta be uplit because yeah, and I think y'all need a palate cleanser too. Yes, if you saw the dark side of K-pop, K-drama industry. Folks. Now listen. I gotta get this off my chest, folks. You can skip ahead if you want to the tarot readings and such, but we need to remember that these K-pop idols, we don't own them. You do not and cannot own a person, nor should you ever try to control them and force them into something. Now, if they ask for help, they say, yes, I'm not happy, I want you to do this for me, then that's different. You're stepping in to help. But if you are projecting, feeling like they need your help for something that they haven't said, don't try and force something on them. Don't stalk them. This is serious. I am very serious about this. You feel close to somebody because you see them on the screen and they talk and they interact and they say, hey, I care about you. I love you. And that's sincere. But, boy, JK said it. You guys, boundaries. There are boundaries we need to respect. I was pretty ticked off that people say I have a bias. That I had people over one side saying you hate Jimin and are a Tay Cooker, and I had other people like you hate Tay and you don't defend him for what's happened to him, and you are a Jim Cooker. Folks, I'm not a cooker of any kind. I may be a little kooky, but folks, I want these young men to be happy with whatever decisions they make in their life. I want all of us to recognize that they are human. JK, in his last live, he tried to say, I am human too. I am human. He was trying to say, I love and I appreciate everything you guys have done, but you need to stop crossing boundaries. Don't just show up without unannounced anywhere. And if he's working out, he's like, I wasn't on a schedule for you guys. This wasn't a scheduled meet and greet. There wasn't a schedule, that's what I'm trying. He's like, this wasn't on a schedule. You don't belong there. And seriously, you don't belong. So, people are worried about him. He fell asleep, which I think is hilarious. And Jimin did a live this morning, and he talked about it. He thought it was funny. Him crying over the fried chicken, his Instagram. He was being funny. He was being silly. And people didn't understand. They were like, oh my gosh, is he starving himself? What's going on? And, he thought you guys would get a reaction to it, be like, what the fuck? And he was having fun with y'all. He's like, I wanted a reaction. I got it. And, being silly, like, oh, all that great chicken, I want to eat it. You want to eat it all, but you shouldn't. And they were like, oh my gosh, has he got an eating disorder? Folks. Oh no, he looks thinner when he went to see. Why didn't JK go and see Jin with Jimin and J-Hope? Is he depressed? And some of you were projecting that, he was saying he broke up with somebody and that's why he was sad. Some people are like, you can't say he's sad. He was doing fine. He's loving life. Folks. Bam's in the hospital. He's already lost a love pet before. And, he didn't tell Army for a couple of years after or so. Because it's not something he's talking about. He was alone. Bam wasn't there with him. Bam's not doing well. We don't know what it's going on. Obviously, he was staying around because of Bam. He wasn't going to leave. Why would he made a choice, and I think people need to respect his choice to not go see Jin. I would know. My cat recently, one of my cats, Bouncer, he's the older cat that I rescued. My family, we rescued him from the animal shelter. He had been, we got him in February. Okay, he had been picked up in December out on the road, with a massive infection in his whole mouth and just ragged and sick. They nursed him back to health. He had surgery, fixed his mouth. He's missing a lot of teeth. Like, I still need to get my teeth put back in. I hate the dentist, but that's another story. And nobody had adopted him. He had been at one, and then he went to a pet store where the Humane Society has, where people could come and adopt from the store in the mall. And no one adopted him, and he was sent back, and he was at the other Humane Society. And so it's February and someone saw, we were looking for a cat because our cat Duchess had gone missing, been gone for a couple of weeks, and it was middle of winter, snow everywhere, and we thought we lost her. Good news though, a few days later, my kids found her in the tennis courts at the park nearby, and she was meowing for help, and she was skinny and needed help. But anyway, Bouncer, we were told about Bouncer, and we met him. We go in the back room with him, and he was so affectionate. It's just so gentle. He's this giant motherfucking Maine Coon. I love my orange little buddy, and so we adopted him. And we've been taking care of him. And he had an injury on his back leg and going up his hip. And we saw it, and we bathed him, and we were cleaning him and put some disinfectant. And we're like, okay, it doesn't look that bad. So, let's, rest and keep an eye on it. Well, I woke up in the morning, and everything was worse. And there were all these maggots. Now, apparently, that was helping keeping him from getting an infection, fortunately. But still, freaked the bejeebies out of my wife and I. And my in-laws were at the house at the time because they were working on some gardening. They both grew up in farms, and they don't really have any yards at their home. So, because where they live, well, it doesn't matter. But we have gardens and everything, and so does my sister-in-law, so they come and help out, and this is something they love to do. It's very therapeutic. It's fun for them, and they insist on doing it. So they were there, and so we just jumped in our car and took off and left our kids at home with the grandparents. Fortunately, it was safe. We were happy, but we raced over to the vet, and we were scared. We were so scared. Something was, Bouncer has been through hell. And it was scary when we brought him there. We were crying, and we had to leave him behind, and they were going to sedate him and everything. We're like, ah! So it was scary, And man, the relief when we could bring him back home, even though he had a cone on. He hated that. He had been completely shaved. He looked like a little lion. It was cute. But, he had to stay inside. We had to take care of him. And it was stressful. And I see JK, and, Bam's not there. Bam's in the hospital. And he's not, that's sad. That's got to be, lonely, missing my buddy. Bouncer always likes to crawl up right here on the side of me when I try to sleep at night. Oof, he's right here. And he's a big cat. Okay, it's like, Bouncer, can you just move down a little? Because I'm breathing in your fur balls, and I don't like that. I have asthma. We have issues with this, okay? Anyway, I think people were reading more into things, and, they're shocked to see him drinking. And once again, here's another crazy story. I had stories, folks. So, okay, I was a worship leader at the Church on the Way of Van Nuys, California. And with Dr. Jack Hayford. And I was one of the worship leaders, and I was on the platform every week, singing my little heart out, praising God, okay? So, people at this church, 88,000 members at that time. And most of the people attending the church were not members. This 100,000 people, that was a pretty big, so there's a lot of people who go to this church, okay? And one night, my neighbors, we had been barbecuing, and one of the things I would do to help some of the families, because I was making good money, and in this apartment complex where my ex and I lived, I would hold these barbecues, and people would bring food together. It was almost like the Stones theory story. Everyone brings in a little bit, and we'd have these great barbecues, and everyone would get fed. And some people were drinking, so they had beers, and they had run out. And I did not want any of these people, my friends. And I hadn't been drinking, okay? I was not drinking, and so I was like, let me, and they also wanted cigarettes. So I was like, you know what? I could go to the grocery store, because in LA you can actually pick up Jack Daniels and, vodka and all that stuff at the grocery store. Stores in Idaho, no. But when I was in LA. So I was like, let me go and get this for y'all. Just, stay here. I'll get your cigarettes. Give me the list. So I go in, and I have this little cart, and I've got bottles of liquor, box of wine, and carton of cigarettes, and I'm holding this stuff. Now, this wasn't for me, okay? This was me wanting to help my friends and keep them from, getting on the roads drunk, right? But I get approached by someone. Now, I had taken, it was summertime, so I had not been on the platform for a few weeks. For about a month. I was on holiday. You got to take a break, And it was summer, and I was taking a month off, but nobody, I don't announce that to anybody. I just do it, okay? And, except for, the people on the worship team, So there I'm gone, and I'm holding this stuff, and someone walks up to me. I was wondering, oh my gosh, you sing at church, you're at the church, you're on the platform. I see you all the time, and I haven't seen you. I was wondering, are you okay? And I'm like holding all this stuff, and he's looking at me like, are you okay? I mean, and I'm like, there is no way I can defend myself. This guy probably thinks I'm some raging alcoholic and how to have a bad, even though it's okay to drink, but for some reason, people would put me on a pedestal, like, I'm not allowed to drink, I'm not allowed to have sex, I'm not allowed to smoke, I'm not allowed to dance, I'm not allowed to have fun, basically, okay? And if you're caught doing this thing, well, then there must be something wrong. You must have an addiction, you must have a problem. And I really, I relate to this in a way because of what my experience when I was in college and, yeah, a young adult. So, they got the wrong idea. They didn't realize that what I was doing was, helping out my friends and doing something to keep anybody from getting harmed, yeah, it's rough to, have people projecting onto you what you are supposed to be doing, who you're supposed to be hanging out with, who you're not supposed to be around, because oh my gosh, there's a bad reputation, and it sucks. So there's some really, I mean, JK had millions watching him while he fell asleep, which is a lot bigger than anything I've ever experienced, which I was thinking, wow, man, I was watching the live as it was happening too, but I think people are forgetting that these men are human and you don't own them. They have given so much. They don't owe anybody anything. They have shown their appreciation time and time again. It's time we respect them as the grown men they are, and not continue this behavior of they owe me mentality when it comes, and they have to hit these standards of perfection on other idols in the industry. It's dangerous when you do. It hurts their mental health, I'll tell you that. So after I've said all that, I had to get this off my chest. I really, really did. I want, people are like, why do you do tarot reading? I was called a clout chaser because I was a take cooker or something. I'm not a clout chaser, folks. If I was, I probably would be placating to fans of ARMY, BTS, but I don't. I tell you guys how it is and how I see it. And I'm not always like, oh, everything is wonderful and perfect. And I'm not going to say, it's what you want. And sometimes people are like, well, I don't like what you said. Well, you know what? If it resonates, you don't have to like it. But if it resonates, then believe me. If it doesn't resonate, move on. Don't believe me. I'm not always right. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I'm not going to say I don't make mistakes or I see something, misunderstand what I'm seeing. I get these images and I'm trying, and I hear things, and I can hear conversation. It's like things play out, and I'm trying to show you if I am shown something. And other times there's a block, and I'm not going to see it, and they don't want me to see it. A person, and I'm not, respect. I respect those who are living and are not pieces of trash who need to be exposed. Okay. I don't always play nice, in favors. I can't. I want to be real. I want to be honest. I want to do my best to present to you what I see. I want you to recognize that these idols, celebrities, they're all human, just like you and I. They go through the same struggles you and I go through. They celebrate a lot of the same things we do. And we also need to respect their boundaries. Allow them to put up boundaries so they have their own special space where they can be themselves. They can just turn off the whole being in front of everybody and having eyes on them and being aware of, okay, I got to do this, I can't say this, It's stressful, okay? I mean, you saw what happened to Britney Spears back in like 2008. I mean, that was horrible. She was having a mental breakdown. People were following her. They were pushing her, stalking her. She was just like, leave me alone. And then she ended up trapped in an abusive conservatorship and being treated like a slave and abused and medicated to be controlled. And, it's hard. We gotta not just sit back and let these bad things happen. At the same time, you have to know if the person isn't doing anything as a cry for help, then let them live. Okay? Respect decisions they make. And others should respect your decisions on how you're going to live. As long as you causing no harm to anyone. Don't go out there intentionally to harm someone. No, someone's hurt you, and you gotta get them back. It's just like, encourage karma. Yeah, go for it. Anyway, let's get into this BTS tarot reading. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Hello, everybody. Hi, and thank you for sticking around. And if you saw that last part, I did go down sharing story, but yeah. Let's lighten things up a bit here. Let's get into this with, I'm just really, people want me to do some readings on RM and Suga and Taehyung, and I'm going to, okay? I plan to record more videos this week. Just so many people are wondering what's going on. And yeah, with JK, because he's been coming out doing some crazy, rebellious. Yeah, temperance upside down. He is definitely not practicing temperance. Okay. Yeah, I'm laughing because he is just pushing things to extremes, and he's in a conflict with, okay, it's not members of BTS that his issue is with, somebody else higher up. And it's almost like try and stop me. Oh my gosh, I forgot to show you guys. There's the card, so you can see. Okay, we're good now. Okay. All right, JK. All right, what you doing? Okay, so he is. Woo. Okay, this is powerful energy here, folks. Okay, so he's definitely pushing things, but with the magician here, and the magician's upright. This is like he's manifesting his confidence. He is pushing to do other things. He is he's inspired, and he I think he's been doing something. He's working on something. But it's more personal, a creative avenue that's personal. It's like for him, and I think he might share it with those around in his inner circle. But it's like I can be creative, and it's for myself. I'm kind of seeing here. Now the Queen of Cups. She's upright over here. And the Queen of Cups, water sign, sometimes as a Cancer, is a very compassionate, to be just a healing, nurturing person around them. There's a lot of compassion and comfort. And I think, let's say a little bit more about this. And then here's the Seven of Swords over here underneath the reverse temperance, and that's not a big surprise. The Seven of Swords. You can see this guy. This guy is like, he is sneaking off with a bunch of swords here. He's taking a risk. He feels betrayed. He has been betrayed. He's feeling very betrayed. Which is kind of motivating him right now. A spiritual awakening. Okay, so remember when I told you that there's some kind of conflict with someone higher up, and what we got the Emperor card reversed. We know the evil Emperor. We know there's somebody, and if you we're in my Patreon. I did a Bang PD reading, right? And someone is clashing with Bang also in Hype, and I think it's the same person or persons going after, trying to stop his creativity. This person is trying to thwart him, because whatever he's working on, if it does come out, I think it's like they want it silenced. He's up to something. He's up to something. Yeah, he's looking for justice. Okay, so, um, it's kind of got this vigilante, Batman kind of vibe I'm feeling, sensing here. He wants truth to come out. He wants to restore balance. Because everything's chaotic around him right now. And he's upset. Okay, there's somebody, water sign. JK is upset. This guy's trying to block creativity again for somebody else. Water sign member. Feels like he's not getting enough attention. So JK wants justice for him. Here's the fool. He wants to take on a new journey. There's a new journey. He's going to be starting something new. He's taking the risk. The fool card. You're jumping off the cliff. He's ready to jump. He's ready to go. Judgment is reversed. Okay, with the judgment reversed, and it's right over the emperor being reversed here too. What we're seeing is he's got a lot of resentment. Okay, he's very worried. He's disappointed. He doubts that he can trust certain people anymore. Hide. Let's put it that way. All right, the world reverse. Okay, so the world reverse here. This is a lack of closure. He's feeling like things are coming to an end, but there is no closure. There is no, hey, let's celebrate all of what we've done. No, it's like everything is fading away. He is feeling just kind of a bittersweetness, sadness, because things are not, the way they used to be. And this isn't love life. This is more career oriented and life journey. Okay, so I don't want to projecting that on there. Okay, these cards got all mixed up here. Okay, these cards are all facing this way. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what else I can get. Alrighty, everybody, we got this, don't we? Yeah, we got this. We got this. Okay, give me. Alright, home. Okay, that's about home. Immediate location, where he feels secure, finding security in, usually, and... Okay, that was a bunch of cards. Just give me a card, please. One, two I can handle, but let's not... Let's not do this. Okay, that's just a giant pile. Okay. Interesting. 15 is the bear, okay? There's, and it's next to home. Okay, so, I get a little worried because there is somebody, an authority figure. A powerful business person. Let's see here, what's going on. Does he own his apartment? No. This man does. Behind it. What is he? Does Hive actually own the properties? Somehow? Something's off. Let's see what I can get here. Okay, Okay, so here's the home, and this is about security, feeling, trying to find a safe place, and things going on around the house, and then there is somebody kind of being an obstacle, a man who, and to prove that, I was thinking it was a man, and this card clarified, yes, there is a man. And this has something to do with owning home. And the lilies here, it's 30. This is, oh boy, this is like someone older than him. This is somebody over 30. Somebody over 30 who... What is he doing? What's happened to Jake? What's going on here? I'm not... Okay, is the key. So, 33. This just gets more and more puzzling here. There's, something opening up. Getting answers. Okay, so the rider popped up, and the rider, this card is number 1 in the Lerman deck, and this is the house of messages, communications. Can also be a young man, a younger person. Oh my gosh. The anchor, trying to hold him back. With the time, need to look closer to the situation. Traveling. He wants to travel. There's the mountain being an obstacle. He wants to follow his heart for love. And there's a man involved. Okay. That could be him, or it could be the person he loves. So, he wants to own his own place. He wants to have his own security. He wants to go somewhere and be safe. To live his life how he wants to love whomever he wants, to be able to find a home that's actually his, where he can call his own. Yeah, here's travel, and then the fishies, which is having to do with well, sometimes it does a little bit with business, money, enterprise, spending money, shopping, going on an adventure, becoming independent. And this often represents a man with dark hair. So I think JK is at this point where I'm not a baby. I am not a kid anymore. I want to start and have my own things, my own place, start my own life. I want to be able to live. I want to show appreciation because I love you guys, but I need to also have my own space, and that's what I'm kind of seeing here. It just was a very interesting reading, but I don't think he's in any kind of danger, folks. So I think y'all can calm down. Yes, maybe. And just know that he is growing up, and he wants to live his life finally. He didn't get to live as a child. His youth was taken from him, but it's like he made that choice and he did it, and he made hit goals that he could never have dreamed of. And now it's time to sit back and take care of himself and not live according to what others expect of him. You really see with the that polar bear is like trying to, put him in line. This is what I expect of you, and he's like, no. Let me know what you think of this reading and comment down below. And I have to end this because I realize I didn't realize it was 1 o'clock already, and I am starving, folks. I need me some lunch. I love you guys. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'll see you around.